You describe abundance and scarcity as potentially conflicting. I have to have X to avoid scarcity, while at the same conditioning prevents me from being free to feel abundant, yet they can feel complementary. How can someone genuinely feel financially abundant when the external metrics like available funds objectively signal scarcity? Even if we successfully generate feelings of gratitude or abundance on demand, how do we neutralize the away pull of scarcity? What's the right balance between inner rules and realistic measurable outer outcomes? What you're touching on here is essentially one of the number one keys on how to stay in through me. And it is essentially you have to outgrow emotionally your sense data. And the way that you outgrow your sense data is by recognizing it is a historical fact. Yeah, let me give it you in a way you might be able to understand. If I was to take pictures of myself, 5-6 years ago, and let's say I was overweight, and I look at those photographs and I get upset because I'm not overweight now, but I get upset about how fat I am because I'm looking at the pictures. You'd probably send me to a shrink, right? You're getting upset over something that happened in the past that isn't happening now, right? So when it comes to financial abundance, everything in your bank account, your money, your no money, your job, your salary, or whatever, is a photograph that you've taken a long time ago. It isn't now. All of the thoughts you had, the actions you took, led to the manifestation of what you currently call your financial circumstances. You follow? So if you want to get upset about an old photograph, you're never going to be able to generate abundance. You see, who you are in this moment, and again, I go back to the developing photograph analogy. If you were to take a photograph now with an old camera, I just gave this example on the 5-day challenge, and you had to take the film out and put it in the old dark room where it had to soak in solution under the red light, what would happen over a period of a couple of hours is that photograph would develop, and you would start to see a faint outline, and then a little more, and then all of a sudden the image in its full color would eventually happen, and you'd take them out of the solution and hang it up with a clothes peg to dry. Anyone remember those days with dinosaurs running around? That is your bank account, ladies and gentlemen. It is the photograph that developed over time from the pictures you took. The problem is when you're looking at the fat pictures, you're taking new pictures of being fat. When you're looking at your scarcity bank account, you're taking new pictures of your scarcity bank account. What do you think is going to develop over time? So when you say, how do you reconcile looking at scarcity in your bank and trying to feel abundant, you realize that's got nothing to do with you being abundant. It's how you feel now, which is the photographs you're taking, which over time will develop into abundance. Is this clarifying? In other words, one of the things the secret societies teach their members off the bat is how to be bigger than your sense data. How do you become bigger than your previous photographs? By realizing that's not who I am right now. If you can feel abundant now, and every one of you can, not by staring at old pictures. You could have the best body in the world right now and start staring at yourself being a real porky and get upset. All right, that's not going to work. That's not going to do anything for your current biochemistry other than fill it with cortisol. So I want to really drill this home because it's so important. Your outer world follows your inner world. So when you can feel abundant in your inner world, and you can feel many different reasons to be abundant, don't confuse abundance with money. Now, let me make that clear, because that's where some of you may be falling down. If you're confusing abundance with money, wrong game. Abundance is a total feeling that essentially says nothing is missing. So focus your attention on what's not missing. Oxygen? Can you feel abundant with oxygen? Well, unless you're underwater without a scuba gear. Unlikely. Can you feel an abundance of appreciation for walking around in it's probably getting less temporarily, but yeah, a free country? Can you feel an abundance of sunshine by stepping out into nature? Well, maybe not if you're in England, right? But you get the idea, right? Focus your energy on what you can feel abundance with. And oh, by the way, the money thing, that little piece of the jigsaw, if you're broadcasting abundance, what do you think comes along for the ride? Opportunities to generate more abundance. But if you're saying, I need to feel like a millionaire, but I'm so far in debt and I can't see any way out of it, you're never, ever going to get there. You're not in debt. You have previously taken photographs that have now developed into scarcity. I've planted tomato seeds 4 months ago, and holy crap, I've got tomatoes. And I didn't want tomatoes, I wanted oranges. So what are you going to do? Bitch about the tomatoes? Or plant oranges? I can't say it any plainer, guys, but at some point, some of you are going to hear it. When I came out of prison 7 odd years ago, $350,000 in debt. Some of you may have been $350,000 in debt, some of you not. I'm not talking mortgage, right? That was another $350,000, but I never count that as constructive debt. I'm on about destructive debt. $350,000 in debt, 0 credit rating. Couldn't open a bank account. I knew that if I focused on the developed photograph, I was done for. It'd be a long walk back out of that hole if I could have a client. You follow? So what do? I immediately do? I immediately disown my sense data, especially around money. And I go to, how do I feel? Generate abundance. What helped? My dogs. So I can feel a lot of abundance around my dogs. Abundance of joy, abundance of love, abundance of fun, abundance of connection. Focus on that. Oh, look, an opportunity. Oh, look, I owed 150 people either tickets to the Millionaire Business School, trips around the world as part of my master's circle, yeah, or some other obligation. 150 people. Oh, by the way, that's aside from the $350,000 in debt. I ended up giving 2 refunds. Now, if I'd have gone, woe is me, oh my God, what do you think the outer world probability distribution would have shifted to in terms of number of refunds I would have had to have paid? One of them, it was for EMF, right? Because I went to prison on module 7, authenticity. Right? I went away for that. Yeah, fully inside, and was not coming back. Now, a lot of them held a space. And I went through EMF again with them all when we came out, and everyone knows the story. That was EMF 4, by the way. Yeah, we do EMF 50 next week. But from my side, if I'd have gone down the woe is me, remember, you are influencing, not reality, you're influencing probability. And reality is governed by probability, which means you play the longer game, you become the house, not the gambler. Yeah, I've been talking about this on the challenge for those of you there. So if I maintain feel great now, this is amazing. I don't know why it's amazing. The universe has got some, it's going to have to pull some hell of a rabbit out of the freaking hat. I mean, I've seen some rabbits the universe has pulled out of the hat in my career, but holy crap. $350,000 in debt, no credit rating, 150 people screaming for money back. That's a hell of a rabbit. I am excited for this magic trick. 2 refunds. If I'd have gone, I need to bury my head in an oven, oh my God, let me go to the doctors and get onto Prozac or some other crap, or, got angry or got upset or depressed. That's available. Yeah, everything's available. I guarantee you, understanding how the mathematics of quantum manifestation works, I would have probably been facing 50 refunds out of the 150, not 2. You follow? I generate my reality as a result of my attitude. Now, did I have every opportunity to feel scarcity coming out of prison? Did I have every excuse? Would there be anybody that would have come to me and said, how the possible can you feel scarcity? Right? No. That says, of course you're feeling scarcity here. Have some Smarties or whatever, pills they want to give you. But I had to become bigger than my sense data because I know how the photograph machine works. Some of you are still waiting for money to come in before you feel abundant and wonder why it doesn't show up.